entendo que é muita gente, então fica meio que impossível de preparar e manter lá o coisa no chat, né? Não dá pra controlar, velho, não dá. Bom, agora vai ter Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. Vamos lá.
Alright, so time is going to start when I skip an upcoming cutscene. So, are we ready? I'm getting thumbs ups.
Vamos que vamos.
Three, two,
Sim.
one, go.
A arte desse jogo é muito bonita.
So this is Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom, and it sort of exists in an interesting place in the franchise. So this is based on the same properties as Wonder Boy and Monster Boy.
Esse jogo é baseado no Monster Boy Underworld, né?
As the Dragon's Trap, which was a remake of Wonder Boy 3, The Dragon's Trap, that was released recently, whereas Dragon's Trap was strictly a remake of Wonder Boy 3. This one is sort of a spiritual successor. It has some of the same concepts and ideas.
Ele tá falando aí que esse jogo é mais uma continuação espiritual do Wonder Boy do que qualquer outra coisa. Tem o live design completamente diferente, tem história completamente diferente. Sim, na verdade, ele é uma continuação espiritual do Wonder Boy. Ele agora vai pegar 10 moedas, né? Pra comprar as botas. Normalmente ele compraria. Normalmente mataria inimigos, só que tem aquilo ali. Eles cliparam ali basicamente pra baixo do chão, né, para poder fazer. Nice. Agora ele pegou o escudo, né?
If you save right after you open a chest, but before you collect the item, it won't update your warp or your saved location, but it will still give you the items.
Tá. Funciona mais ou menos assim. Toda vez que você pegar um item e salvar, muitas das vezes vai salvar que você pegou o item, só que não vai salvar aonde é que você pegou o item. Então você volta na localidade do último time save, da última vez que você salvou. Mas não necessariamente ele tira o item que você pegou.
Yeah, so this game's called Monster Boy, but the original series was Wonder Boy in Monster World. So why is the name different?
Yeah, so this game was originally going to be a fan game.
Originalmente esse jogo ia ser uma continuação espiritual, né, completamente. Acabou que o diretor de criação do jogo original acabou se juntando à equipe e acabou deixando eles utilizarem o nome do Monster Boy, da série Monster Boy. Então, tipo, era pra ser um fangame que acabou saindo e virou continuação espiritual.
And so one thing that you're going to see here is Tina is going to be basically having to overcome platforming challenges in order to get from one point to another. Right at the beginning, this is meant to be more of a tutorial of the system of the game before we can get to our first mini-boss, which is the squid fight.
Mike Chamberlain é do criador do Mega Man. Criador não, né? Do designer, né? O Gunvolt é inspirado em Mega Man e é bem maneirinho.
I've been quickly going over the plot real quick. We play a character named Jin. Found out that his drunk uncle has been turning the entire kingdom into animals.
Bom, pelo que ele falou ali, né? O plot é meio louco. Basicamente, a gente descobriu que o nosso tio tá transformando as pessoas do reino em animais. E ele tá bêbado. O tiozão tá bêbado.
You can't even really do this fight all that fast. There's a lot of techniques you could use to try to speed this fight up. But if you attack the boss too fast, you can actually make all of his tentacles despawn without finishing.
Ah, que legal. Olha só que legal. Esse...
You're sort of forced to take it slow. And now we're a pig.
O monstro ali, né? Se você atacar ele rápido demais, ele pode dar despawn, né, nos tentáculos. Bom, ele agora a gente tá com o porquinho, né? Eles falaram que se você conhece a série Wonder Boy, você provavelmente vai reconhecer esse porquinho. Nunca joguei, então não reconheço.
Tina did a very small sequence break. This game has a ground pound mechanic when you're playing as the pig or the human. And one of the interesting little movement quirks of that ground pound is that as you start the ground pound, you actually gain a little bit of height and you have control horizontally. And so we can use that to skip.
Ah, tá, olha só que interessante. Toda vez que você vai fazer o ground pound, né, desse jogo, com o porquinho, você tem duas coisas principais. A primeira é a mecânica de você poder andar, você poder andar verticalmente não, horizontalmente. Não, peraí, acho que eu confundi, perdão. Você pode, enquanto você está fazendo o ground pound, você pode andar para a esquerda e para a direita, né? Então, você pode fazer o controle aí do bicho. E quando você vai fazer o ground pound, ele também ganha um pouquinho de altura, o que isso é importante. Essas duas coisas juntas são importantes para poder fazer alguns skips.
You can use that to clip through some things. We're going to see a lot of that. Good fight. Really solid fight.
Nice boss fight.
Yeah, that first fight and that fight right there are two. I mean, for being so early in the run, they're quite temperamental fights.
Yeah, they're reset points for sure.
So, this is a really solid start to
Bom, ele tá falando aí que essas duas primeiras fights, tanto do povo como desse cavaleiro aí, são lutas que normalmente são difíceis. Então, são momentos que vocês podem acabar dando reset.
Has the ability to smell. There's like these gas clouds you can see. And when you smell, it'll give you a hint as to how to progress. There was that part back before that boss where there were a bunch of branching paths. And if she went the wrong way, it would take her back to the beginning.
So that was another little sequence break here.
Bom, eles fizeram uma pequena quebra de sequência ali.
Sort of challenge you with puzzles in each room. Unfortunately, often, as is the case with puzzle design, sometimes you can find little sequence breaks through them. And that's the case in this game. There are a lot of really big sequence breaks that we're going to see, but even the individual rooms, the very small scale skips, almost every room has something.
Eles estavam comentando que como jogos de puzzle, né? Esse jogo aqui também tem formas de você quebrar pequenas sequências de fase. Esses puzzlezinhos, essas coisas, acaba que tem muito jeito de quebrar a sequência. Mas uma coisa que eles comentaram é que até mesmo o jogo mesmo tem muita quebra de sequência principal mesmo, grande. Tipo, de cortar parte mesmo do jogo.
That should look familiar if you've ever played a Monster Boy game. Wonder Boy game.
Yeah, to make things even more confusing, this is Monster World 5, Wonder Boy 7.
Caralho. Basicamente, pelo que ele falou ali, de acordo com a ideia, esse aí seria Monster Boy. Não, peraí. Wonder Boy 5 e Monster Boy 7. Então, tipo, parece aí que tá meio louco aí a sequência de jogos. Na minha cabeça agora só tá vindo a VGN falar assim: What they're thinking? Quando ele fala das sequências.
This was a hidden power-up for gaining more ammunition for the lightning spell, but as Tina didn't yet have the lightning spell, this gave her the lightning spell.
Ah, interessante. Teoricamente falando, aquele item que ela acabou de pegar ali eles seriam um
Perhaps a very
upgrade
slight oversight. They were able to get the lightning spell at this point. It doesn't really make a big
do
difference,
Lightning
so it's not
Spell,
that big
né?
of an issue.
Que é
It does
a
allow
magia
both
de tacar a
reusable
eletricidade.
sequence breaks,
Só que como ela
and
não
extra
tem o
runes,
Lightning Spell, ele se
did
torna
save a
literalmente
little
um
bit of
item que
time
te
on
dá o
some
Lightning Spell.
incredibly frustrating puzzles.
Então, né? Acabou de pegar ali o Lightning Spell.
That gold mushroom is trying to run away from
Magia
you.
de eletricidade.
Yeah, he's trying to run from you, but Tina's too fast for him. These fireballs that are chasing her, by the way, are also goof gas. So if she touches them, it reverses her controls.
Yeah.
So she has a vested interest in not getting hit here.
Observação importante, né? Esse fogo que tá seguindo ela, além de ser fogo de dar dano, né? Elas também dão um efeito ruim que controla, que inverte os controles. Então ela realmente não quer nem chegar nem perto de tomar dano aquilo ali.
Sure thing. We have $25 from Lucas Aurelius, who says Tina Hex is sure to keep this run on Tina Tracks. Good luck on Monster Boy.
Acredito que na Steam deve estar demorando um pouquinho mais, porque deve ter sido algum tipo de exclusividade no Switch. Talvez 6 meses, alguma coisa do tipo.
I can attest that I've recently picked this up and I spent probably 30 minutes trying to just do that.
Como assim não é permitido o uso do nome? Não entendi.
I mean, the actual time save that happens here is this room right here that she's entering. Sorry. Yeah, actually this one and the next one. There's a pretty big time save here. Pepe Logu is actually trapped up above us. That's not how you're supposed to get him.
Ah, tá, o fone do Mega Man. Esse eu não faço nenhuma ideia.
Boomerang magic and then climb up and cut him down. But now we're not even going to get the boomerang magic from that.
The what?
Yeah, sorry.
Pepe Logu seems to have trouble remembering your name, so you're just referred to as blue-haired guy.
Bom, ele agora tá com 4 corações. Vamos continuar.
The other time save that we have from having the lightning spell early is in this room. There's a little back and forth puzzle that happens, and being able to hit that switch right there to skip this entire room is intensely frustrating to me, someone who ran this game before we discovered getting lightning magic early.
Yeah, so there used to be a extremely tight trick that we would try to do.
Eles estavam falando ali que antigamente tinha uma forma muito chata de fazer uma trick naquela sala anterior, que usava o pulo e também como é que é o nome? O cogumelo. Só que agora, como descobriu que dava pra pegar a magia de eletricidade mais cedo, agora não precisa mais fazer isso.
So Tina was trying to bounce off of that enemy to grab a rope on a higher screen. It will actually just let you. Every one of these rooms, she's trying to save a little bit of time on the cycles here.
Yeah, these are all fairly tight, but if you don't go for the tricks, you can't get them either.
This room's supposed to involve pushing all 3 boxes into place, but fortunately, a well-timed ground pound can allow you to only have to push one.
Basicamente, eles estavam falando aí que, teoricamente, a ideia é que precisasse mover 3 caixas naquela última sala. Só que acabou que com um ground pound muito bem feito, você consegue esquipar tudo isso, você só faz...
We will find them. That's what heroes do.
So I guess just during this very brief moment of downtime, I do want to mention, you know, when me and Tina both first started running this game initially, we did a blind race on release, and we started running this game, and...
There's one. Found them.
Great.
Go. We're done.
Sorry, go on.
So when we first started running this game, Tina and I found quite a few really good strats, some time saves throughout, and we had done some pretty good optimization. But this game wouldn't be where it is today if it weren't for the help of a glitch hunter who's a good friend of ours named Nick's Report. He put a lot of time into this game, and 2D games aren't really his typical cup of tea, but he really invested a lot of time to try to make this game better for us, and he deserves a lot of appreciation for that because he managed to find a lot. We hadn't even nearly scratched the surface on this game. Based on what we knew, I think the run was down to just under 3 hours.
Do jeito que eles estavam falando aí, eles aprenderam muito sobre a run desse jogo. Eles comentaram aí que o Sonic também tinha comentado. Tipo, a run era de 3 horas, basicamente. E agora já tá em sub 2 horas. Outra coisa que eles pegaram agora foi o Super Tornado. E vai ser muito importante para um boss que tá chegando.
So the next screen to the left is supposed to tell you the password for these switches, but Tina has memorized them.
Basicamente, a outra tela lá tinha mostrado qual que era a sequência que tinha que bater, só que basicamente já lembra tudo igual, então não precisa.
Our first actual boss fight. This is the Mushroom King.
Agora a gente vai ter o primeiro boss fight de verdade, que é o Rei Cogumelo.
He is not cooperating with you.
This can go very sideways, which is what we just saw.
Acabou que essa boss fight o Rei não tava ajudando nem um pouco. Então complicou ali.
So, what you just saw from Tina is the intended way of doing this fight. It actually turns out that if you play this game specifically on the 1.0.1 version, you can skip that fight entirely by just jumping up as high as possible and burning that rope ahead of time, and that just ends the fight instantly. That's not possible on any other version, but if you download the digital version of this game these days, you'll get 1.0.5. If you get the physical version, though, on the PS4, you'll actually get 1.0.0, which is not the version you need. But if you buy the physical version on Switch, you'll get 1.0.1. Tina's playing on
isso é importante comentar. Esse jogo tem várias versões, né? E a melhor versão para jogar é melhor versão para speedrun é a versão 1.0.1. São 1.0.1. E o que acontece? Hoje em dia a versão física, a versão é 1.5, né? Então, se você comprar para PS4 a versão física, você só pode ou baixar, você ou vai jogar o jogo padrão, que é 1.0, que não é muito boa, ou você vai direto para 1.5 com atualizações, o que também não é muito bom. E no caso do Switch, é o único console que se você comprar a versão física do jogo, você pega diretamente a versão que você quer para speedrun, que é 1.1.
We also have $25 from Anonymous, who says, "Good luck, Tina, and make sure to go thax fast."
You've got time.
Yeah.
Agora tem um auto-scroller aí, né?
Sure thing.
Tem muito o que fazer.
Got $20 from Lat Mackey, who says,
Eu vou abrir uma aguinha de novo, trazer água.
Donation goes to Tina's Wait, let's put it towards Blind Punch-Out. We also have $35 from Northeast, who says, "Hi from my own couch. Thank you, GDQ, for my favorite event of the year. Shout out to the runners, the crew, the crowd, the viewers from around the world, and the real treasure, the friends we made along the way." Oof.
So Tina's going to stock up on some magic. It saves the most time to just go ahead and refill on everything entirely. And it doesn't really hurt for this fight either to be pretty well stocked, because Tina has really optimized even these little fight scenes.
Basicamente, ele estava comentando ali que a garota, ela otimizou tão bem as lutas, né? Que até mesmo se ela não quisesse, ela não precisava ter dado refill dos itens ali mais cedo. Agora vai ter uma luta contra um boss fight, né? Que é literalmente uma cobra bem grande.
Hopefully the big snake doesn't give us any trouble.
Yeah, I hope not.
Big venom. Good job, you did it.
Hard fight.
It's interesting to know this boss fight actually has unique boss
What
music.
the
and
heck?
it's really good.
So the theme for this part of the boss fight is that you can't harm him while he's up on his platform. So you need to bring him down, and the only way to bring him down is to drop a beehive on his head.
Yep, the last screen where she had to dive into the water where the bees were above her was basically a tutorial for this fight.
Yeah, teaching her that if she ground pounded, the beehive would fall. Unfortunately, this fight can be very random, and it decides whether or not she's able to make progress, and she's currently not getting very good luck on this one. She can only drop the beehive on its head if it's standing on top of the platform.
Bom, acabou que eu tenho que esperar a cobra cair. Então, se ela não cair, não tem como fazer muito. Deu azar no último hit.
Here, the platform the snake is on actually activates, and you need to use lightning on it to flip it over. There you go.
E GG.
So now that that snake boss has been defeated, what has been left behind is the essence of that creature. And so now we are going to collect that essence. We're going to have the power now to transform into a snake additionally. We only had the ability to be a pig. We were turned into a pig. So that is our true form right now. But we've collected this snake essence, and now we can, at will...
Agora a gente pode ficar tanto... Agora ele pode tanto mudar tanto de porco para cobra e de cobra para porco. Então ele agora ganha um novo set de habilidade. O estimate da run é basicamente 2 horas. É 1 hora e 59. É uma runzinha até que bem longa.
Yeah, so let's explain that real quick, preferably before the next area where we're going to see a bunch of
Ela vai explicar uma coisinha agora.
Really great music. So the ground pound, as you saw, has a little bit of upward momentum, and changing into another shape cancels any animation that you're in the middle of. So the astute watcher might be able to guess what's coming up. But I will say that the name of the glitch is Flying Disco Pig.
Tá, por algum motivo ela não explicou exatamente como é que funciona o glitch. Só falou o nome dela, que é Porco Voador da discoteca.
This is your warning. This is your warning. It's coming up in about 60 seconds.
Tá, então basicamente vai demorar 1 minuto aí pra chegar. Falou que é muito louco, então ele precisa aí, cuidado.
The soundtrack for this game was composed by an absolute all-star team of composers, led by Yuzo Koshiro. You may know him from Streets of Rage, ActRaiser, East 1 and 2, games like that. But there's also Motoi Sakuraba. I don't know all the names of the composers, but the Castlevania Symphony of the Night composers on this, the Ace Combat composers on this. It's a very, very good team. There you go.
Nice.
Ô, louco.
So as you can see now that we have the combination of the pig who can gain height when he ground pounds and any other creature, honestly, we can now basically just hover anytime we want to. And it may not always be the best option, but
bom, eles comentaram ali que basicamente agora eles podem fazer tanto porco como hover de qualquer outra coisa aí. Ao mesmo tempo, então GG.
Webs from the snakes. If she gets hit by one, she gets slowed down significantly. And this is Snake with the gear inside of him.
Yeah, Snake's not a fan of Metal Gear.
Nossa, piadinha ali de Metal Gear.
Oh god, I've actually... I hate it.
Bom, vamos continuar aí.
So that hover ability will not be the magic cure-all to skip every single puzzle.
Ele tá falando aí que o hover vai ajudar, mas não necessariamente ele vai ser a cura para todo.
Right now, it does allow us to skip some puzzles. Every one of these rooms has something to it, and every now and then we're going to encounter something that we can skip by just gaining a little bit of height.
Por enquanto aí, nada demais.
Now, in the 2 rooms ago, there was a save point that we intentionally skipped. It's a little out of the way as it is, but we needed the save point from before stored. We were talking about the item warping before. We're going to get the
Caramba,
second instance of that coming up.
eles levaram em
Save a
consideração
lot more time on this
que
one.
a
So this is
sala
also the
foi
only
dada
instance of that item warp,
teleporte,
special warp, whatever you like to
então
call it,
eles vão
glitch,
guardar a sala para
that
depois.
isn't just skipping
Caramba.
backtracking. Because this is going to take us back quite a ways, and we're going to use this power up that we gain to make it so that we don't have to do a lot more level.
Yeah, she really needs to focus on that because the item does have to start moving towards you before you pause it, but you don't have a lot of time.
Tá, eles falaram de alguma coisa de pausa ali,
So
não
she still
entendi
got the
direito.
snake talisman, came back here, and it turns out there was a little shortcut path that's supposed to be the way you come back, but we're going to use it to go forward.
Basicamente, eles vão pegar um atalho que era pra voltar e eles vão usar pra ir pra frente. Esses aí que eles acabaram de pegar aí com o animal.
There is a switch above there, so you need a lightning bolt to hit it. It's probably going to stock up on magic here for the upcoming boss fight.
Bom, pelo jeito vai ter uma boss fight agora.
That I need.
Nice.
Sapo velho.
So this boss fight is one where you sort of get an opportunity to attack the frog outside of the frog, and then he eats you and you go inside the frog and continue the fight
I think you're
inside there.
supposed to hit the heart.
Basicamente, você tem alguma chance de acertar ele do lado de fora, né? Mas aí depois ele vai te comer e agora a luta vai continuar dentro dele.
She's optimizing the amount of damage she can do outside the frog, which is modest, but it does make a pretty big difference. And then also optimizing the way that she attacks the frog on the inside to keep her from having to climb all the way to
Pelo
the
que
top.
parece aí, uma trick que ela vai usar é tentar usar a magia ou alguma coisa antes de chegar até o topo, pra não precisar gastar todo esse tempo de ir lá e acertar o coração do sapo.
No, you're good.
I
Maybe?
think that's it.
You're good.
Yeah, that's it.
GG.
Okay then.
So
Just kidding.
this fight is meant to be 3 phases, but because of the combinations of little optimizations that are going on there, you can actually finish him in 2 phases, which makes a really big difference in this fight.
So now we just defeated the frog. We gained the frog form. Now this character might look a little familiar. If anybody's played Chrono Trigger.
No, that's later in this marathon.
Okay, sorry.
That's the frog from The Frog for Whom the Bell Tolls.
So with the frog form,
Bom,
we
agora
actually-
com a...
the pig and snake forms don't get access to any gear. Now that we have the frog form, we can start equipping.
Basicamente, a primeira
Yes.
primeira roupa, vamos dizer assim, né? Que te deixa equipar alguma coisa é do sapo.
And right now we are actually going to get a new piece of gear.
E agora eles vão pegar um novo equipamento de gear, né?
She's waiting for a moment because these ice mosquitoes are incredibly obnoxious.
Yeah.
They freeze you in place. And there's really not a lot you can do about them except for be a little bit patient.
A gente tem que falar que tem que tomar muito cuidado porque basicamente tem uns bichos aí que pode congelar eles no local. E eles tomariam muito dano.
This, however, mostly just skips some backtracking. This isn't going to be outright skipping content. She's going to have to go back the path that she was already going to go. This just moves her forward a little bit. So those crimson boots that she got allows her to melt ice blocks under her
O sapato de Crimson que ela pegou, né? Os Crimson Boots, eles basicamente podem descongelar qualquer coisa embaixo do gelo, né? Vamos dizer assim, né? Ele vai poder quebrar certos blocos de gelo com esse sapato.
So, goodbye, my favorite music.
We'll be back.
So what have we got next?
The temple is next, if I recall.
Yeah, so we're picking up a magic refill here. We want to get a little more
pouco,
of that,
acabei acordando cedo demais
boss
hoje.
fights. We really did
Só
expend a
pouco.
lot of our resources for fighting the frog boss. There's a lot to be used there. And Tina is buying the mage boots here.
Tá, agora eles pegaram o Mage Boots.
Faster?
No, they're slower. They're slower, but they look really cool.
I'm trying to put it really nicely.
Na verdade eles são mais lentos.
They're not in the world record.
They're not part of the world record route. No.
Só que ela gosta de pegar.
But they're incredibly swag.
Tá, pelo que parece, ela falou ali que as botas de mago são na verdade mais lentas, só que dão muito swag points. Aí ela decidiu pegar.
But now we are heading into a brand new area, so we're heading into the temple ruins. That's going to make
Agora está indo pro
that's going
tempo.
to give us access to some new equipment. We're going to find more bosses, new animal essences, hopefully.
Esse lugar que eles estão indo tem muita coisa, tipo novos equipamentos, novos bosses, alguns itens aí novos importantes pra maratona, pra run, né? Então ela vai fazer essa run importante pra ela.
He does also say that your uncle has been caught and is to be put to death.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And if you don't fix it, well, it's not good for your uncle.
You reap what you sow.
I'm not sure that he killed anybody yet.
Agora eles só estão jogando um papinho fora, provavelmente pra esperar terminar essa parte.
The cat is adorable.
It's true, and definitely not a villain.
I think I'd know if he were a villain.
Yeah.
So the function of those shoes that she bought is if you hold the jump button down while you're in the air, you hover slowly.
Tá, uma trick que tem naquele sapato que ela comprou é que se você pular e você usar pra baixo, literalmente é como se fosse um hover em relação a você pular e simplesmente fazer, sei lá, o ground pound, essas coisas. E você é obrigado a descer, vamos dizer assim.
So we're going to encounter our next NPCs. They want the treasure that's hidden inside these temples, and so they ask us to help out.
Basicamente, algum personagem queria que a gente ajudasse com ele, né? Ele tem 10 cristais que tem que pegar. Essas roupas também no Dark Souls são muito doidas.
Alright, so here I'm going to trigger the screen transition and pick up this key on the same frame, which skips the text box. It's like a 1-second time save, but feels real good when you get it.
So we're starting to encounter enemies that are becoming much more powerful and much more of a danger to us. In this room we have to
agora a gente tem uns inimigos aí que estão bem mais fortes e bem mais rápidos, né? Essa sala a gente tem que matar todos eles. Agora que a dificuldade do jogo começa a subir bem.
Using the frog because the frog actually has the ability to equip armor. So her playing as the snake is taking a calculated risk.
Ela usar o sapo, ela deveria estar usando o sapo, né? Porque pode usar equipamento, essas coisas. Mas como a cobra é mais rápida, né? Ela basicamente está tomando um risco calculado. Vamos ver como é que ela se...
You understand thunder?
I do know how to use lightning. I figured that one out pretty early on, actually.
This boss has 3 rooms, and each of the rooms prioritize one of the animal's abilities. So, for instance, this one right here is supposed to be the pig's abilities. But as it turns out, if you can ever get underneath an enemy, you can hit it with lightning. And the point of each of these rooms is only to attack one enemy in particular. So this is the snake's room.
Interessante. Então, para cada parte aí do jogo, em teoria, era para você fazer de uma como fala? Era pra usar uma transformação diferente, né? Acabou que é bem...
Press Y to win.
Nessa hora aí ela tá usando raio, mesmo inimigos que tem proteção, porque se você estiver embaixo dele, ele meio que dá dano, mesmo com o escudo. Então isso é bom.
Right, so we got the amulet back, which is what the two NPCs outside are waiting for us to go do. So we're gonna go give it to him. Hopefully nothing bad will happen.
So we retrieve the amulet, we come back with it, and
Oh,
unfortunately, a betrayal has happened. The cutscene that Tina skipped was this guy right here stealing the amulet, and he says we can only have it back if we beat him in a race. Well, as it turns out, the mage boots allow you to preserve all of your horizontal momentum, so we're gonna style on him.
É basicamente uma coisa que eles comentaram aí agora, que a bota de mago, né, Mage Boots, eles meio que podem te deixar manter a velocidade horizontal. Então é bom dia.
So I guess one thing that we haven't talked about a whole lot, by the way, winning that fight is also given our access to the ice sword. That ice sword's going to play a pretty big role coming up. We haven't really talked about all of your movement options here. So obviously there you were able to leverage the fact that those bows were launching you, but that's not something you typically have access to. So right now our fastest form of movement is what? It's the dash ability with the snake and then jumping out of it with fairly precise timing so that we can preserve the horizontal momentum.
Então...
This room's supposed to be way harder, but...
Yeah, it's got all these things on the side to help you climb up here, but you don't need it. It's ice sword.
Bom, eles continuam a fazer o plataforma, né? Prosseguir aí pelas fases.
An additional benefit of getting the mage shoes, there's a room coming up where you're supposed to go down and around. You can just jump over these spikes right here.
Yeah, we can save just a little bit of time here with the mage shoes. Still does not make mage shoes worth it.
Nope. We just tank that hit in the world record route.
See? I told you.
Yeah, so the frog can eat the dragonflies, just actually restores health.
Bom, o sapo ele falou que pode comer os bichinhos do dragão e até que restauram vida.
Now allows us to pick things up with our mouth. An ability we didn't have previously, but allows us to pick up blocks and things and move them around. You saw Tina there use the block by placing it on top of herself to clip through things. We'll see maybe a little more of that coming up in a bit, but for right now, the ability to grab things is going to allow her, for instance, to grab bombs and throw them to break walls. And
they're really not happy when you take their bombs.
Yeah.
They don't like it very much.
Eles falaram ali que os inimigos não gostam muito quando a gente pega as bombas dele.
Room, but we can fly.
So we have the Sphinx here.
Bom, agora a gente tem a Sphinx.
Monster World 4 run at SGDQ2019.
This is much nicer.
This
much
Sphinx,
nicer Sphinx.
Sphinx in that game, first of all, doesn't even speak English. Second of all, has 20 different questions you have to know. This one has 4. And they're very easy.
Ô, louco. Teoricamente poderia ter normalmente deveria ter até 20 questões, né? Esse aqui tem tipo 4.
Primarily just to fail the quiz, and then he tosses you out into a room where there's a sign you can read on the wall that tells you the answer to that question. So
we're about to pick up another pair of shoes here, and this will allow us to double jump. We would not actually be able to get back up without flying, unless we have these shoes.
For what it's worth, we can fly, but it's a little faster to double jump.
And this knight here is actually incredibly angry if you don't get those shoes.
Ah, tá falando.
Straight at you and knock you out of the room.
Ele tá falando ali que aquele cavaleiro ali, se você não tiver com as botas, né? Ele é extremamente chato porque parece que ele fica mais mais agressivo.
Like you can't block him if he's standing inside you.
Just a pixel on that wall you can jump off of. The dragonflies thought they had us with the lightning, but then they ran out of lightning.
So we're trying to activate 4 pedestals inside this temple. Once we activate all 4 of them, that'll get us access to the end of this stage. So we're going all around this temple, trying to find these 4 pedestals.
Ele agora tá procurando 4 estágios, né?
Very, very complicated. There's multiple of these rooms you have to turn around to get to that green block at the top left there. We can just fly though, so we don't need it.
It also turns out you can skip this room in its entirety. There's a pretty neat little skip you can do where at the very beginning of the room, if you jump over the boulder, there's actually a little secret door right behind the boulder that takes you to the very bottom of this room. And so you might think, well, why not just skip all of this? Well, it turns out that there's a reason why we're gonna have to come back to this room. And if you skip it, you'll have to do this anyway, so you might as well just do it on the first pass. So unfortunately, there is a skip possible, but it's not actually useful, which is the saddest kind of skip. This rock is also extremely temperamental. If you touch it anytime, anywhere, at any point, it will instantly kill you, even if it's not moving, even if you land on it from above. So Tina's playing it really safe here and just not chasing it too close.
Bom, eles falaram ali que ela foi pra uma rota um pouquinho mais safe, né? Eu só vou ficar até o fim desse jogo.
That was really nice. Doing that in one cycle is actually pretty challenging, and she stalled a little bit right at the beginning, so the rest of her movement was good enough that it meant that she didn't end up missing that one cycle.
Mas eu até perdi o que eu ia falar.
Be careful, Tina. There's spikes at the ceiling coming down at you. That was close.
So I didn't actually realize, because of finishing the room fast, that there were spikes up until Cyclone told me earlier today.
So the item that she just got was the Aegis Shield, and it allows you to reflect the shots from the chameleons. If these shots actually damage you, they also act as goof gas, which is intensely frustrating. So there's specific movement that she takes through that room to make sure that their shots either miss completely or get reflected properly.
So this 4th area, oh, you gotta go back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this little detour that she's going to take isn't going to matter all that much right now, but she's collecting a...
it's an in-game item.
Yeah.
Ouch.
She's going to collect an item that she needs.
A run de vocês é só uma vez por ano? Não entendi. Como assim a run da gente é só uma vez por ano? A gente tem uma maratona online aqui na Speedruns Brasil que normalmente é uma vez por ano, mas às vezes poderia ter uma maratona temática ou de algum jogo, alguma coisa específica, que poderia acontecer também, não necessariamente. Bom, ele agora fez o Chest Warp, né? Que eu tinha comentado no começo do jogo. Ele basicamente salvou e saiu do jogo antes mesmo de terminar a sequência da caixa.
Obviously, we don't need it. We know where we're going.
Actually, the room below the one she was just in is where you could get that gear if you wanted it. And the game expects you to have it. If you were to go into the next room without it, you'd probably just leave because you wouldn't understand how you're supposed to clear a completely dark room.
Also heading over here to get a new magic, the bomb magic.
So now, instead of having to steal bombs from enemies, we'll be able to create our own bombs at any point.
Agora, ao invés de a gente ter que roubar as bombas dos inimigos, a gente vai poder fazer as nossas próprias. Isso vai ser muito bom para cada situação.
And so if I'm not mistaken, that is the 4th of our pillars being activated. And so now we can head toward the boss of this area. So there's a few things going on in this fight. First, he's going to spit out enemies. Then he's going to try to attack us, and we need to stun him because if you attack him any other time, he'll just deflect your attacks. He won't.
Ele tá falando que esse inimigo aí tem alguns times exatos pra você dar dano nele, porque senão ele simplesmente vai dar deflect nos seus ataques. Basicamente, tem que deixar ele em stun, tem que virar a sala e aí começar a descer o cacete. GG.
Really well done.
Yeah, there's a lot that can go wrong in that fight that we didn't have to talk about at all.
I was ready. So we fought a lion, and we get the lion transformation now. Whereas previously our fastest mode of transportation was the snake dash, now we have a new skill in our repertoire. The lion can actually dash, and while he does have a cooldown, he has a meter that will refill automatically but will deplete as we dash. It still is our fastest mode of travel, and we'll combine it with some other things as we move throughout the game in order to continue finding new and creative ways of going fast.
Bom, eles comentaram aí que o jogo ele tem algumas formas interessantes, né, de continuar a lutar. Ou seja, ele te dá várias formas diferentes de você fazer, às vezes, alguns puzzles, né? E ele acha isso sensacional desse jogo.
So this running speed is pretty fast compared to all the other options we've had so far. I mean, if you're playing this game casually or you're speed running it, this is a huge door being opened, finally being able to move quickly. Tina mentioned she was going to take a small safety right here. There's actually not very out of the way.
Ele comentou uma coisa importante ali, né? Esse dash aí é muito importante para todo o esquema geral da run, né?
That timing.
I was wrong. Probably have time for a few donations right now.
Sure thing. First, I'd like to mention that the next run after this one, the Textorcist, has a challenge that has not yet been met. That game is like a cross between the Binding of Isaac and Typing of the Dead, and we have a hand cam incentive for $2,500. We currently have 1631. I'd really like to see that get met. We have until the end of this run, so a little over an hour. Let's get those donations in.
Yeah, you're going to want to meet that one. That's really, really impressive.
So that clip right there is as easy as it looks. Unfortunately, it was patched out in version 1.0.3. I'm going to stop talking about.
Eles comentaram de uma trick que infelizmente foi patchada. Foi removida do jogo. Não tem muito o que fazer.
At her current health level, she can just barely get hit by one mine.
Bom, pelo HP que ela tinha, infelizmente não deu pra sobreviver a encostar em uma mina. Tem que tomar muito cuidado.
We're supposed to have the gear on to give you a light radius.
I honestly think Tina ran into that bomb just to prove a point.
I promise you I didn't.
It kind of looked like she wasn't even going to get hit by it.
Yeah, I thought I was good. There's only one more dangerous.
Falou que ali só tem que tomar mais cuidado porque tem só tinha só mais uma mina perigosa, né?
It's terrifying for us. So this section's not too slow right now because we're swimming with the frog, which is incredibly fast. But now we're heading into the little maze section that we can only really do with the snake, and that's a little bit slower.
Cara, faço a menor ideia. Acredito que pra uma run normal deve demorar mais que... Deve demorar umas 4 horas, então. Umas 4, 5 horas.
This puzzle right here, you just have to hit each switch a specific number of times. The solution to this is actually to the left after you get down into this area. But it doesn't change at all.
But she didn't even look at the solution because she memorized it.
How dare she? She's cheating.
Look, I asked GDQ staff. They said cheating is okay.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as cheating is okay.
Yeah.
Then it's not cheating.
Mas tá subindo aí, né? Vamos ver que área que vai ser a próxima. Acredito que é
So
a
we're going
área
over
da
here to get
praia.
the key to the pirate ship.
É, agora a gente vai ter que pegar a chave pro navio pirata.
Hadn't seen the pirate ship yet, but we were told by an NPC that the pirate ship is almost certainly where he left behind his pirate flag.
So we need to go get the pirate flag.
This upside down pirate ship is certainly an homage to Wonder Boy 3.
Esse navio pirata é uma homenagem ao Wonder Boy 3.
Alright, so we have the flag. I'm going to take it back to that pirate we saw earlier. And he's just going to tell us to go take it to the lighthouse, put it up there. He's not very helpful.
Well, he's trying to find his friends. That's why the pirate flag.
He's a project manager. He really just
É, isso sendo NPC, imagina 100%.
We didn't talk about it before, but this section here, before she clipped into that boulder, there's an entire side quest that takes about, 3 minutes?
Yeah, it's a good long time.
Basically,
but for now, we're just going to do some running. We've been given the ability to eat pirate souls to refill our stamina. Let's get 2 or 3 donations in, because we're just going to go put up a flag.
Tá, basicamente agora eles só tem que esperar, porque vão colocar uma bandeira. Então tem algum espaço aí para doações. Sei que depois que terminar essa run eu vou dar uma cochilada aí que acordei cedo demais, velho. Não tô acostumado.
Keep them coming. I've got to run back.
We've got 50 from Nogia, who says, had to donate during my favorite runner's amazing Monster Boy run. Tina, are you going to mention the glorious pig eye patch?
So there is an explanation there. The sprite, if you look left or right, it mirrors itself. So obviously, the pig wears the eye patch on both eyes. If I were to idle, and unfortunately it would take a couple minutes for the animation to play, the pig does just change the eye patch. So FTG Games know what they did. All right, so the flag attracted some unsavory attention. So we're gonna go to Davy Jones's pirate ship.
Yeah, this area is like
it's really cool.
This area is a whole dungeon on its own.
Let's see if I can get this. This is really tight.
Ó, vamos ver.
Nice. So this whole area is a pretty significant sized dungeon all
basicamente essa área toda que é o navio do Davy Jones é literalmente uma dungeon própria. Ele esquipou uma boa parte dessa primeira sala ali com aquele clipe ali.
Yeah, unfortunately the puzzles in the ship have a lot of waiting for the ship to rock back and forth and blocks will move into that.
A única coisa que o cara ali falou é que infelizmente algumas das tricks, né? Infelizmente você tem que esperar por todo momento do navio ir e voltar. Isso é meio feels bad, mas no geral é uma dungeon bem massa.
Not at full health. I'm going to be using an inn later on to refill my stamina. They won't let you sleep at the inn unless you're hurt, so this is good. We're good. And now's another great time for donations, because we've got some cutscene that I can't skip.
Nice. Agora vai ter mais pouco de doações.
$25 from Evan Grill, who says, "Hey Tina, really enjoying Monster Boy from the audience this morning. 2 questions. 1, how'd this pig get the eye patch? 2, how does he switch eyes so quickly?"
You know.
We've got $25 from Melomancer, who says, "I told myself I'd donate when pigs fly, and well, here we are. No way to worm out of this one. Thanks a lot, Tina. Donation goes to Runner's Choice." We have $25 from Anonymous, who says, "Loved the Monster World 4 run from AGDQ, and it's great to see its adorable sequel for SGDQ. Thanks for the great runs."
All right, so we are going to be making our way to the volcano.
Agora eles estão indo em direção ao vulcão.
And in order to do that, I have to hit a bell to open an elevator. Like that. there's not a whole lot to talk about. I'm going to be doing some running. You've got time for 2 or 3 more.
Sure, we have $20 from Uranier, who says, "Yo, dog, I heard you want to donate, so I put a donation in your donation so you can donate while you donate." Donation. And $5 from Thalen, who says, "Late night crew hype."
Now, Tina, you just bought 2 pieces of gear there. What were those?
So I bought some armor, which gives you armor. And then I bought a bracelet, which is going to let me recover some health whenever I take damage.
Tá.
It's going to be
Basicamente, ela pegou 2 itens, um é uma armadura e o outro é um bracelete que,
2 more, because we're going to do some
teoricamente falando,
You got it.
quando ele toma dano, ela restaura um pouquinho. Mas é o que eu entendi do jeito que ela falou.
$25 from Jacob Oscarson, who says, "Always a sure sign of summer when SGDQ starts."
And chest warp right out of here. We picked up these boots, the cloud shoes, and they're going to allow us to walk on clouds, which, as you might imagine, as with all the other items, we've been granted these abilities so that we can use them throughout the rest of the game, but this is actually the only room with clouds, so... We actually don't want to keep the cloud boots on anyway after this, because one thing that we failed to mention was that Tina actually took an upgrade on the Prince boots earlier that gave them a plus 25% to walking speed. And so they're currently greatly assisting our movement. So as soon as we get through all these clouds, we want to switch back to the Prince boots if possible.
Plus, having double jump is very nice.
Uma observação importante é que eles estão trocando, eles trocaram as botas para Cloud Boots. Essa é a única área do jogo que tem que é necessário essas botas. E aí eles vão deixar agora na Price Boots, pois literalmente ela dá um bônus na hora de andar.
We're gonna fall a little bit, then I'm going to run on some lava that's glitched. You've got time for 2 more.
We've got $20 from K Adam126, who says, "Couldn't sleep, so I get to enjoy more SGDQ. Thanks for making the summer heat more bearable. Donation goes to the Handcam Texorcist incentive, because that sounds awesome."
You're not supposed to be able to run on this lava. Well, I mean, theoretically, obviously you're supposed to be able to do whatever you can do, but there's no other lava in the game and no explanation for why you're able to run on that one, so we're just going to call it unintended. Unfortunately, lava is creating quite an obstacle for us right now. The flow of the lava and the movement of it up and down is controlling the pace we can go through here.
Eles estão comentando ali que basicamente o movimento da lava está controlando a forma como eles passam a fase.
This area is broken down into 4 areas, four separate regions. One thing that's going to happen here really quickly, Tina is going to get herself stuck inside of a 1-tile high gap, and it's going to skip a pretty big segment of that room. That happened right there. It's hard to commentate it faster than she does it.
Yeah.
But through a combination of a number of disparate glitches, we end up with the ability to skip half of this room. The combination of the teleport rod clipping you through blocks, something that's probably not meant to do, and then also the fact that if you do find yourself in a 1-tile high gap as a 2-tile high character, it can clip you left and down, so.
So Tina set up another chest warp right here, and we're getting the Lion Talisman, which will allow us to do an upward dash.
Agora ganhou o talismã do leão, que deixa a gente fazer dash pra cima.
He's currently able to move horizontally quite fast. We haven't yet gotten an upgrade that really allows us to do any vertical movement. I mean, we've been kind of abusing the pig, but now the lion actually properly has an ability that allows him to move upwards better, and we will be using that quite a bit. As I mentioned, this area is separated into 4 different regions, so every time you see her hit a gong, that's 1/4 of the volcano done. So she's working toward her first gong, and the idea is that once she does all 4 of them, that will finish off this volcano.
A ideia é que quando terminasse os 4 a fase do vulcão terminando. Pelo menos a ideia.
They changed a lot of the speedrun.
Yeah, so the idea there is same as before when you clip into a wall as the snake, it pushes you down a tile. And the added benefit of that is that if you repeatedly dash, you can actually manage to get through sort of the ground underneath a door sometimes. It doesn't work for every single door. It doesn't always work to the right. And it usually doesn't work to the left except for in specific circumstances. So it's really best to think of it on a case-by-case basis. We know the places it works. We know the places it doesn't.
So our end goal is to get under that rock platform there at the bottom middle. Each of these gongs break off just a little bit of it. Like, the rocks have very specific resonance frequencies or something. But once we get all 4 of them, we'll be able to smash straight through it.
Tina's gonna grab a legendary gem here.
Agora vai pegar uma gema.
Use these gems to upgrade some of her
Ela vai usar essa gema mais tarde para dar upgrade no equipamento.
Brave.
Yeah, it doesn't happen in this run, but if you happen to get the entire set of gear upgraded, you gain an additional set bonus. And the Ice Armor's set bonus is complete invulnerability to fire and lava, which would be very useful. It's just not faster to go out of our
Basicamente, se eu melhorasse todos os equipamentos, eu ia pegar o equipamento de gelo, que é muito resistente contra fogo, só que é muito lento para pegar, então vale a pena só ir direto.
So fortunately, at this point, this is really the point in the game in which that clip that she did under doors really is going to allow us to skip a lot of content. For instance, the puzzle in that room is really just obnoxious to perform.
All right, so we're coming up on the Sonic room, which is this one. We're going to perform a glitch here. It's a one frame trick.
Way to go.
And if you keep your eyes open, Sonic is at the end of the room. There he is.
So Tina's going to use this brief opportunity to upgrade her equipment. So what did those upgrades do specifically?
More armor and then the ability to freeze enemies, which we're going to see right here. So there's Pepe Logu. He's doing okay.
Unfortunately, he's now very afraid of fire, and so this whole area is an escort quest. We need to bring Pepe Logu with us through this area slowly and very tedious in order to get him into this room so that he can open this door for us. It's very time consuming. It can be a little bit frustrating.
Tava falando aí que tinha que trazer o Pepe pra essa sala, pra uma outra sala aí. E isso demora muito tempo. Então é bem chato.
She has no reason to be in that room right now. It's actually way out of sequence for her to go there, and she's not supposed to have access to it. But the reason why Tina popped her head into that room really quickly was because she wanted to set up a really high quality save for the chest warp that she's going to do coming up. She could have warped back to that save point right there, but it's actually much better for her to warp in the direction she's going to be going.
Ah, tá. Então, basicamente, ela fez ali save pra, em vez de ter que voltar lá no coisa, depois ir, ela já faz save de exatamente na posição que ela quer pra ele poder avançar.
Ooh.
Yeah, she had to do a double pause there because it didn't start tracking towards her yet.
Yeah, that one was a little spooky.
Yeah, that one saves a good 4 minutes, so not messing that one up, kind of important. Okay, so the movement in this area is really, really particular. I'm setting everything up for a lava waterfall cycle that I want to hit at the very end of the room.
That's the cycle she wanted to save time on right there.
Nope, this is the one that I want to save time on. There it is.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
So that's 3 out of the 4 knocked out.
Yep, so we're coming up on a pretty fun area. Towards the end of this section is a nearly 6-minute long auto scroller that we're not going to do. So shout outs to Greenalink and Meteor81, who originally found and started playing with a hover in an upcoming room, which at the time, just due to the mechanics of it, we sort of derisively called Impossible Hover. And then shout outs to Author Blues, who came up with an improvement on it, which made it much harder, so we started calling it Stupid Hover.
But not impossible anymore.
Not impossible anymore, just stupid. And then I improved that one, and so now it's super stupid.
These are all technical names, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So this room right here, the intended way to do this is you're supposed to bring down those 2 pillars on either side by doing 2 completely separate paths. We had actually found a way to save a little bit of time by bringing down just one of the pillars and then using a combination of the snake's dash, the double jump, and then the lion's up dash.
Yep.
In order to get to the area that Tina just got to. And then once we figured out we could hover, we just didn't have to worry about any of that. So in this room, there's actually a bone snake that is moving through the room extremely slowly, and you're supposed to just ride it as an auto scroller. But since we have the ability to hover, we don't have to wait on that. The downside is that now we have to navigate all of these obstacles that are supposed to be part of the auto scroller while just hovering.
Tá, basicamente agora o que eles estão fazendo? Essa trick que eles estão fazendo é basicamente repetir, fazer a habilidade, cancelar e repetir para conseguir ganhar distância. Só que tem uma coisa, como isso aí é nosso scroller, né? Eles vão ter que fazer isso até o final, então é mega lento.
If she waited even a hair too long, just a little bit too long, the down stab would grab her and pull her down instantly. And so, like, knowing that timing really well takes a lot of finesse.
All right, so it's boss time.
É time muito exato, é claro.
Pretty rough on the hands, honestly. We have probably the highest octane boss in the entire run.
Spyro is jacked and he is pissed.
Meu Deus, fizeram uma piadinha com o Spyro.
Sure thing. I've got $50 from Unikitten, who says, just had to donate during my favorite run from the wonderful Tina. I'm a big fan of yours and I wish you good luck. Another $50 from Matchbox Matt, who says, Tina hacks with Author Blues commentary? Where can I find this podcast?
Keep them coming.
Another $50 from Wem, who says, Konbanwa from Tokyo. Always love catching the late night block stateside to see the more unique runs. Loving this Monster Boy run. Tina's making it look super fun.
It is super fun, by the way.
We've also got $10 from
basicamente agora só tô falando algumas doações. Quero perdoar toda a galera aí que tá assistindo aí que eu não tô legal.
And an update on that incentive, we have about $700 to go for us to unlock that hand cam for the next run. We've got maybe an hour to get that met, so keep your donations coming. We really want to see that. We've got $50 from Anonymous, who says, loving the runs. Can we have a GDQ every month of the year, please?
Bom, contra o boss aí, ele basicamente tá só, tipo, esquivando do boss. E quando possível ele tá fazendo dash pra cima, dando dano. Então, teoricamente falando, parece um boss bem complicado, mas não parece ser tão difícil.
If you've noticed the pattern, you can probably guess what form we're about to get. And we're also about to get a really long autoscroller. So I want to see how many donations you can read before the autoscroller's over.
Well, that sounds like a challenge. Well, we've got $50 from Sunny King, who says, never knew anything about Monster Boy until now, but woke up to it and loving the run. Sending all the love from the UK. Let's get that hand cam on Textursys sorted. We've got $100
Bom, agora ele
from
ganhou
Robin Lovoy, who
a
says,
forma
with
de
growing
dragão,
interest for speedrunning
também
and
inspirado no
humanitarian
jogo
causes,
do
I
Underboy.
had to donate this year. First time donating money here, and I'll gladly give up some of my summer vacation and night's sleep to support this glorious event. Love, Robin from Norway. We've got $50 from Anonymous, who says, generic long-time watcher, first-time donator comment. In all sincerity, thank all of you for doing something so amazing. Keep up the fantastic work. Also, thank you to all of the volunteers and people working behind the scenes, putting this towards the best suit, the fusion suit. $10 from John Locke Phone Punch, who says, first time donating. I'm terrible at watching things live, so I'm still on day one. But go whoever's playing currently. Love watching these speedruns, especially for an amazing cause. Everyone playing and announcing has been amazing as usual. We have $50 from Virgo Red Wolf with no comment. Thank you. We have $25 from Sturf, who says, having an incredible time at my first GDQ in person. Here's $25 to the Textursys Handcam incentive to watch Teddy Ross blow
Bom,
my
agora vem
elementary
esse.
typing skills
Agora tá
out of
nesse
the
auto-scroll,
water.
né? O próximo jogo é o Textursys. Ele tem um desafio de doação que é para conseguir
$5 from Jacob Adams, who says, good morning again
a
from
handcam,
Ireland.
né?
Keep up the
É
good
para
work, Tina.
colocar uma
You
câmera
are
na mão
number
dele.
one.
Porque tem uma coisa interessante desse jogo, né? Esse jogo ele foi
from
feito para ser
Flames
jogado com
Forge,
uma
who
mão
says,
só,
Handcam, let's go.
literalmente. A ideia é que você possa jogar ele
$10 from
literalmente com uma
Sauce
mão
Must
só.
Leave, who says, greetings from
Meio
Australia.
estranho,
Why have we
mas
not
sei lá,
met
né?
the
Vamos ver como é que
Textursys
funciona.
donation incentive yet? It sounds so cool. Let's get that going, people. $100 from Khead161, who says,
Carai.
must see blindfold punch out. $67 from Lazy Cat Rye with no comment. Thank you very much. $20 from Sir Flux, who says, hey there, you cute people at SGDQ. Greetings from Austria. Can I get some hype from the crowd for this fantastic Monster Boy run? There we go. $250 from Gibbon, who just says, Monster Lair hype?
Bom, ele agora tá no boss. Até que tá bem simples esse boss, literalmente. E só tem que tomar cuidado pra não tomar dano. O boss ele tem essa pattern de ficar tirando essas bolinhas.
We have $30 from Perion, who says, Handcam hype? $40 from Big John, who says, speedruns are better than coffee to wake up with in the morning. I'm totally not putting off getting ready for work.
You've got time for probably one more.
Sure, we've got $5 from Taryn, who says, shout out to my boyfriend Cody, who is watching this with me. Love you.
So while this was the first actual animal transformation where we got the talisman right away, this known thief has stolen it from us right away.
And we failed to mention it before, that small green dragon that shows up is actually the main character's brother. So he's pretty hyped that you're now Dragon Bros.
All right. So, we've been told that the wise Sir Hoots has been kidnapped by Mysticat. You know, the good guy.
Bom,
So we're gonna figure out what that's about.
pelo que falaram, que parece que tem um personagem ali que foi capturado por um dos personagens bonzinhos. A gente vai agora descobrir o que aconteceu.
Another glitch. If I transform and jump on the same frame, I maintain my momentum.
Eles agora vão abusar de um glitch que se você sair correndo, apertar o voo do dragão e troca, se você, perdão, se você for sair voando, você ganhar velocidade com o dash, pular e trocar pro dragão, o dragão ele pode continuar com a velocidade para fazer o glide.
Which actually allows us to clip through this wall right here and completely skip the intended puzzle.
Bom, agora ele vai tentar fazer esquipar um puzzle, tirando depois de derrotar esse boss aí. Mini boss.
So this is our stealth portion. If we get caught by any of these penguins, we will be instantly teleported back to the beginning of the castle.
Like that?
Tina was trying to demonstrate for us what that actually looks like. So if any of the penguins catch us from this point on, we'll get teleported back to that little holding cell.
Agora é um momento muito importante, você não pode ser descoberto pelos pinguins. Se for descoberto pelos pinguins, eles...
There's supposed to be some little puzzles around here, how you actually end up avoiding all of these.
Você é transportado direto pro começo do castelo. É muito ruim.
We can actually skip some of this by using this block to clip through the floor. Now, once she entered that room to the left, it changed the position that she would be captured to. And she actually wanted to be caught there for a very specific reason. You actually can't get through this room right here until you've been into the prison cell. So she needed to get captured once so this guard would allow her to answer the questions correctly. Even if you've memorized the answers to these, if you haven't been inside the jail cell, the game just won't let you answer correctly. The options I think it gives you on the menu, just none of them are the correct answer if I'm not mistaken.
Do jeito que eles falaram, ele parece que é obrigado a pelo menos você ser pego uma vez para poder responder as questões corretas. Se você não tiver pelo menos sido pego uma vez, parece que todas as opções que eles te dão são erradas.
She also wanted to get caught immediately, and the reason for that is that there's a neat little trick you can do here. If you teleport out of the holding cell and then use that portal to go back to the holding cell, you can actually when you reappear, the holding cell is unlocked. So
there we go. A little bit of marathon safety there. Just refill that health.
My theory is that the jailers came by and saw that you weren't there anymore, and so they just unlocked the door.
Why would you keep the door locked if nobody's in it?
So we've now saved Sir Hoots.
Yep, we tell him what happened. We had the talisman stolen from us, and he's like, "Oh, well, I had my my treasure stolen as well."
What was his treasure?
Cookie.
It's a fortune.
It was a very nice fortune cookie.
Obrigado aí.
As far as
Quem é que
fortune
entrou?
cookies go.
Opa! César aqui.
E aí, César?
Probably has a very good fortune
Obrigado aí, cara. Valeu.
Nada. Vai lá, cara. Vai lá, vai lá.
Show, né? Desculpa aí, gente, que depois que passou da Uncharted eu comecei a sentir uma dor de cabeça e tá insuportável agora.
Isso aí eu toco aqui daqui pra frente. Fica tranquilo. Vai lá. Falou.
Bom, gente, bom evento aí pra todo mundo e eu volto amanhã.
There's a lot of little puzzles here centered around
vamos lá. Peguei um negócio aqui no meio, vamos dar uma olhadinha aqui.
Dragon's ability. That's one of the main reasons why we really couldn't come this direction. You know, that and not having a key. This first room we can actually skip. She can clip.
Só um minutinho que eu estou configurando as coisas aqui. Eu acabei de ligar o PC. E bom dia aí pra vocês, né? Que estão aí. Quem ficou aí a noite inteira? É isso que eu quero saber. Teve alguém que gankou a noite inteira.
Platform out of the way, but by placing the ice blocks a little lower, she could just roll the boulder straight into it. This room's a little long. We need to break into this chest in order to get the mansion key. Unfortunately, it takes 100 fireballs, and we are on a cooldown. Anytime we fire a fireball, we have to wait for our meter to refill.
Tá jogando o
if you want to
eles parados, tá? E eles mesmo que seguem os boy.
I've got $50 from Schmupdog Joe,
Não.
who says, I woke up way too early to see Tina Hacks bring...
Mas ele vem lá do Wonder Boy do Master System. Então ele começou com Wonder Boy, aí depois ele veio para o Monster Boy no próprio Master System. Depois veio o Wonder Boy 3, que foi o Wonder Boy The Dragon's Trap. E agora, e depois veio esse jogo, Monster Boy em The Cursed Kingdom. E agora, vocês devem conhecer, na verdade vocês devem conhecer os outros dois jogos do Monster Boy aí, do Wonder Boy, com outro nome. Nossa, obrigado à empresa de transportes aqui da cidade, que acabou de passar com um ônibus na janela. Vocês devem conhecer como com outro nome, que seria Turma da Mônica. E os jogos do Wonder Boy do Master System, eles foram feitos também para a Turma da Mônica, que foi feita a mudança da skin e tudo pela Tectoy, né? Então o Wonder Boy 2 ele foi feito o Turma da Mônica no Castelo do Dragão. E o Wonder Boy The Dragon's Trap 3 foi o Turma da Mônica O Resgate. Então, só uma curiosidade aí do joguinho, né? A Tina Rex, ela tá fazendo aí a run. Deixa eu dar uma olhada aqui. Como estamos?
Not necessarily for plot reasons, but because he's actually integral to the boss fight of this area. We need to also recover the Dragon Talisman, because we can't do the boss fight of this area without the Dragon Talisman. And then we need to get to the final boss. And getting to the final boss is actually the easiest of all of those pieces.
Eu fico curioso, eu quero saber como estão as doações. Estamos com $288 mil já, hein? E obrigado aí, ó. Gilmarvi. Live ficou aberta, mas eu acabei dormindo. Tanto faz 24. Tô desde ontem às 7 horas. Saindo em pequenos intervalos. Mick tá falhando às vezes. Ele... Vamos ver, deu uma mudada aqui, vamos ver se melhora. Daqui a pouco fecho 24 horas assistindo e vou dormir. É bom, né, mano? Dá uma descansada aí, cara. Marca aí as runs que você quer assistir, as runs mais legais. E cara, vai descansar um pouco, né? É bom, de vez em quando. Uma curiosidade, aquele inimigo ali que é a florzinha, ele vem do Wonder Boy 3, né? Do Dragon's Trap.
So taking this ball down to the bottom here, there's some blocks we couldn't get through, but having possessed that spike ball, we can get straight through it.
Essa moça que está jogando, ela que tem o recorde dos jogos antigos, né? O Wonder Boy The Dragon's Trap, esse que eu falei, quem mantém o recorde mundial é ela mesma. a Tina Hex, né? É bem interessante, ela gosta bastante dessa série aí. Vamos ver aí. Vamos ver se eu acho aqui. Quem detém o recorde nesse jogo? Ava. Quem detém o recorde desse jogo aí é ela mesma. Com Real Time, um RT de 1 hora e 50 minutos e um IGT de 1 hora 28 e 59. Ó, ela fez esse tempo há 22 dias atrás, cara. É bem recente aí, hein? É um negócio que é bem recente. Bem interessante. Vamos ver se ela consegue melhorar aí esse tempo dela.
And those laser beams are powered by the souls of the damned. He just eats them.
É preciso matar esse bichinho aí que atira esse laser maldito. Aê. Essa mecânica de mudar o personagem para o personagem virar outro animal também vem do Wonder Boy 3, The Dragon Trap, que lá você também se transforma em vários animais, né? Tem o Lizardman, o Fishman. Gente, sem trocadilho com o nome do game, mas ela é uma monstra no joguinho. Ela é. Eu acompanho as lives dela e ela jogando essa série de jogos. Ela é uma monstra jogando isso aí. É tenso, cara. É tenso. Aí temos uma mecânica aí um pouco variada. Inclusive esse som que faz quando ela pega algum item e tudo mais, também vem lá de trás do joguinho antigo de Master System. Aí deu reset, ela foi lá só pegar a chave. Esse jogo ele tem bastante essa mecânica de você pegar um item e dar reset porque você sai mais perto do lugar que você tem que abrir a porta, né? Porque ele já salva. Ela falou agora que normalmente, muito casualmente, essa race ela é não trivial assim. Então tem bastante coisa que pode ser imprevisto.
But the real point of this race is much like the Kets fight that we did earlier, where we said the main point of it was the game was testing to see whether or not you figured out how to use all of the different animal transformations. This one is trying to see whether or not you understand how to use the animal transformations. So at different points it's going to tell you.
Tá falando agora que essa race que tá fazendo aí com esse bichinho mostra bem se você tiver bastante o controle da mudança de animais aí, né? Ajuda muito. Ela virou a cobrinha. Já se transformou em 3 animais diferentes, né? Agora o sapo, né? O dragão, aliás. E é isso aí. Terminou a race.
So now we have the Dragon Talisman and we have Pepe Logu. So there's really nothing stopping us from beating the final boss except for getting to the final boss.
Ela já tá se preparando aí, fazendo toda a preparação para lutar contra o final boss, né?
Which is substantial on its own. You would have to go pretty far out of your way. There would still be another 10 to 15 minutes left of the mansion.
Falou que tem mais aí uns 10, 15 minutos dentro da mansão. Falou que só... Falou que no final, no boss final, só importa que você venha da sala da bolha aí, né? Temos um boss aí. O feiticeiro Undead zumbi. Eita.
And hey, there's a ghost translator option just there all of a sudden.
O bichinho do laser tá tentando ajudar ali, mas tá meio duro. Beleza. Eita. Abre o portal.
Doing this fight optimally is incredibly challenging, and Tina's doing a really great job with that. She wants to preserve as much health in the earlier section as possible so that she can just tank hits in this area.
É isso aí. Adeus, boss.
And that's that fight.
Luta sensacional. E como em todos os monsters da vida, wonders da vida, o chefe dropa muito dinheiro.
What I guess you don't see from a marathon run is that there's a lot of randomness to it, so you have to really be able to respond to anything.
Você comprar suas armas, armaduras e etc, etc, etc.
So we have the magic fortune cookie back, so we're going to take that back to Sir Hoots. He's going to read the fortune for us, and that's going to tell us where to go next.
For our trouble, we're going to find out that we weren't in the right place to begin with, and we need to go somewhere else.
So I believe he directs you to go to the church.
Yep.
And
Agora,
before, but you can actually see once you're inside the church,
Leãozinho vai que vai embrasado.
The Monster World characters.
Cheguemos na igreja.
So there we were told we need to go
Um
get some
diálogo
relics, and also here's a-
monstruosamente rápido ali.
None gave us a mace.
Yeah.
Beleza.
So that mace gives us the ability to break these
Se transformou no porco, se transformou no dragão.
Tina's also going to take this opportunity to collect a few more pieces of that. So we didn't really mention what it was before, but the sword that we're trying to construct.
Ela falou que ela tá pegando partes de uma espada que ela precisa construir aí, né? Virou a cobrinha, passou no buraquinho. O Mickey melhorou aí, gente. Dá um feedback aí pra mim, por favor. Quem estiver no chat, logicamente.
No, Wonder Boy in Monster World, the first Genesis game.
Olha lá, ela tá falando dos jogos antigos. Opa, valeu, gente. Obrigado. Ó, essa parte, ela é baseada do Genesis, né, no Monster Boy em Wonder Boy em Monster World. Meu Deus! Que dificuldade em soltar a frase do nome do jogo. E no fim é Wonder Boy in Monster World.
So when we were running this initially, we used this opportunity then to warp to the lighthouse in order to make it to the next relic. And White Zephyr pointed out
Já estão indo para uma casa onde vão pegar a última relíquia aí. Certo? E já estamos aí nos finalmente do jogo.
This time save is what? Probably a minute and a half, 2 minutes? It wasn't a glitch, it was just, have you considered routing?
Have you considered doing the smart thing?
Have you considered routing?
Essa parte, ela lembra bastante uma parte que também tem no Wonder Boy em The Dragon's Trap, que tem uma praia lá. Quem tem curiosidade, eu recomendo que vá por um emulador de Master System, alguma coisa, e jogue o Wonder Boy 3 The Dragon's Trap. É bem legal, cara. Falou, Caos, boa aula aí pra você. É um jogo bem legal, é um RPG de ação bem tranquilo, dá pra jogar sossegadamente, não precisa ser nenhum gênio pra jogar. E é bem legal, cara, é bem legal mesmo. Tá tentando aí, tá tentando não, já fez o puzzle. Né? Em speedrun tem essa coisa de, ah, tá tentando, não, não tá tentando, já fez, já é. Entendeu? A música, inclusive, da vila é igualzinha do Wonder Boy 3, só remasterizada, lógico, né?
To the castle, which is where we're trying to go. As Tina mentioned earlier, our uncle is to be put
certo, agora as relíquias. Pois o martelinho do...
trying to run in and save the day.
Well, we figured out all the different animal forms. We're gonna fix this all.
E segue dentro da igreja. Opa, cuidado aí.
So with the Dragon Talisman we have back, we actually get infinite flight and a flamethrower ability, as well as infinite fire. Which is what we had during the auto-scroller, but then it was taken away from us.
Ele falou que o bom do dragão ter voo infinito e fogo infinito é que vai ajudar bastante no auto-scroller que eles vão pegar aí, né? Tá tentando fazer com que o porco trave o botão lá embaixo. Aí, travou.
You can ground pound a button as the pig and change to the snake, and if done properly, the button will stay depressed.
Tá ali, o porco tá esperando o elevador. Beleza. Ó, tem um ponto ali no qual ela dá o bump com o porco e ela pode se transformar em outro animal e o botão não volta, né?
So coming up, there's another room. We need to take this gear that you're going to see to the very far right side of this room.
Falou que agora vai chegar numa sala onde ela realmente precisa de uma dessa engrenagem ali. Ela vai ser bem importante. Aí, a porta. E ela fez um glitch, passou por baixo da porta. Que mané engrenagem, o quê? Engrenagem nada, eu vou é por baixo, man. Já tá chegando nos finalmente. Vamos ver quanto tempo ela vai. Seria bem interessante aí um recorde mundial na própria maratona, né? Bem legal. Falou que o bicho aí odeia água. E é transformar... A mágica dele é transformar os barris em água. Porque o dragão odeia água. Temos aí um caça-níqueis. Chefezinho meio tenso aí, porque tem que esperar. Aí, transformou o barril lá de cima.
Tina's making sure she breaks all of the barrels down to that stack of 4 there, because he will grab the 4th and 5th barrel off of each.
Opa, agora vai. Isso aí, foi usar o barril de água, se lascou.
I think he's gotten wise to our game at this point. So he realizes what we're trying to do. He's trying to throw the water barrels at us, but we're positioning ourselves in such a way that he's throwing them at us.
Ele falou que ele tá guardando, né, armazenando a magia. E vamos mais uma vez aí para o caça-níqueis. Olá, presente 7x. Tudo tranquilo? Beleza, temos o barril de água. Barril de água lá em cima. Desculpem, gente. E agora ele puxa o barril e tomou o último hit. Adeus, amiguinho.
Yeah, if you actually had one in the position, he would destroy it and you wouldn't have it for the next cycle.
Agora voltamos para a forma humana.
Finally.
Só que
Now we're stone form.
A betrayal.
Só que fomos traídos e viramos pedra.
So Mysticat has taken all of the animal essences from us. So we actually lose the ability to transform.
A feiticeirinha ali tirou todas as habilidades dele de se transformar em animais. Bom dia, Adriane. Como vai? Olá, Vini.
They take pity on us.
We also gained the human talisman at this point.
Yep, they give us the most human power of all.
Love.
Oh, is that it? No, going fast.
Fizeram uma piada ali que agora vamos ter o maior poder humano, não sei o quê. Aí o cara do couch falou, o amor. Ela falou, não, e rápido.
Yeah, it is a dash ability and it is incredibly powerful.
This is our fastest mode of travel and we're going
É isso aí, agora ele falou que conseguiram a habilidade de viajar rápido, né, pelos lugares. E eles vão abusar dessa habilidade aí. Olha o nome dele lá, Vinícius. Temos... Escutem essa música. Temos a música temos a música do último castelo. Na verdade, o que seria o primeiro castelo do Wonder Boy em The Dragon's Trap. Escutem a música do jogo.
If you expose yourself, he kills you probably in about a quarter second.
He drains your health almost instantly.
So now we have these like pixelated areas.
É a mesma música. Eu recomendo demais quem nunca jogou, que jogue o Wonder Boy in The Dragon's Trap. And The Dragon's Trap. É muito bom. O PB da Tina é de 1 hora e 50 minutos. Ela é a recordista mundial, cara. Ela é a recordista mundial desse joguito aí. 1 hora e 50 real time e IGT 1 hora 28 e 59. Ela tá aí chegando pertinho ali, porque o tempo que marca ali embaixo naquele cronômetro é o real time, né? É o tempo real. Fazendo um glitch ali da transformação dos bichinhos em ser humano pra poder subir ali, né? Beleza, agora outra vez aquela race pixelada.
Yeah, so normally there's also a mini boss that you're supposed to fight that skips. Alright, there's a few of these.
Esse falou que esses spawns onde o sapo põe a língua é completamente temperamental, ele aparece ali de vez em quando nos lugares bem inusitados. Faça speedrun de GTA San Andreas. Então, aqui ó, opa, peraí, gente. Exclamação agenda. Aí ó, que eu mandei aí agora. Tem toda a schedule, toda a schedule da maratona. Então ali tem todos os jogos que vão passar, cara. Aí dá uma olhadinha ali. Tem vários jogos, né? Só dizendo, essa daqui é a SGDQ. Summer Games Done Quick, certo? E é um evento... Oh, ela morreu, rapaz, ela errou. Esse é um evento feito anualmente, né? É o Summer, e também no começo do ano tem a AGDQ. E esse evento vai ter terão 140 jogos, speedrun de 140 jogos. né? Então, dá uma olhadinha na agenda aí, se você tá procurando o seu joguinho favorito, vê se ele vai aparecer aí na bagaça. E bora lá. E terminou a fase da cobrinha. Até que enfim, terminou a fase da cobrinha. Né? Voltou aí. Ela já tá se preparando já pra ir pro boss final. Agora a fase do... vai fazer a fase do sapo. Opa. Beleza. É agora. Vai a fase do dragãozinho. Dragão pixelado. O legal é que eles até simulam algumas falhas nos pixels. Ah, é tranquilo, ó, aparentemente, né? Essa é a fase do auto-scroller que eles estavam falando, do dragão, que é a parte mais chata. Então, temos aí que esperar o auto-scroller da depressão aí, que pelo amor de Deus, né? E vamos falar do que a gente vai ter por agora, né? Ó, depois do Monster Boy vamos ter The Texture System, vamos ter Skylar and Flux, vamos ter Split String, vamos ter Split Second, vamos ter Kirby Air Ride, Kirby 64, Apescape, Crash Bandicoot. Tamo cheio aí hoje, hein? Tamo cheio de coisa legal. Oh, o jogo agora é todo por aí, é todo nisso aí. Agora bora lá.
As to what I'm alluding to, the pig form, there was no essence we acquired when we got it. And due to the way the
certo, já tá indo aí, eu tô fazendo rodar, entrou na porta. Certo. Vai seguir, agora vai tomar falou que vai tomar um monte de dano. Por isso ela comprou poção ali, né, pra poder se recuperar.
So that's an intentional damage boost, a very risky one at that, because those lasers kill you instantly.
Ok, pegou aí a última parte de espada, esperando o portal.
Doing that fast, I can't even imagine it's possible.
So before we proceed, we do actually have to finally make that sword that we've been collecting the pieces for. So there's still 2 pieces of it we're missing.
First right launch, nice.
Nice. So this is combining the human's dash ability with the dragon's flight.
Certo, agora vamos aí de forma humana. Nossa, esses cogumelinhos também tem nos outros jogos, esse inimigo, né? Bem legal que eles fazem bastante referência a toda a saga deles aí de jogos. Acho muito legal isso.
No, I need that for the final boss.
And that's really the only opportunity she's going to get to retrieve that potion. There is actually a medicine shop right in front of the boss, but there's a
manipulation that I found within the last week. That
requires her to not go into that medicine shop.
Falou que
for whatever reason going into that medicine shop messes up the manipulation.
Incestou a bola ali. Conseguiu.
It's one of those tricks, just getting that boulder in there, that depending on the monitor, it can be tough.
So 1 piece remaining. It actually happens to be at the top of the lighthouse. But we couldn't get to it because we didn't have the dragon's ability when we were here previously.
Musiquinha também agora aí da praia. É a mesma musiquinha da praia do jogo original, onde se baseia toda a série. Opa, agora ela tem que direcionar esses lasers aí. Aí naquela coisa ali. Beleza, conseguiu a espada dourada. Agora ela tá, na verdade, atrás agora de forjar a espada. né? Que ela pegou as partes de uma espada, entendeu?
But it does make the end of the game a little bit better.
A little bit easier.
Falou que não é tão difícil, mas...
Yeah, the main reason it's necessary is those dark blocks
Beleza.
right there cannot be destroyed by any other weapon.
Tina's gonna play it a little safe here, because as long as she doesn't take any damage and doesn't take any extra screen transitions, she will know.
Falou que ela foi bem safe ali, bem safe mesmo. Porque ela consegue setar ali o padrão do boss. Então ela tem que ir bem tranquila ali, bem safe para poder fazer certinho. Conseguiu velocidade máxima ali de voo com o dragão. Isso é bem difícil de fazer. Já posso garantir para vocês. E agora, Final Boss, amigos. Ela não vai conseguir o tempo. Não conseguiu o recorde mundial aí dela, mesmo. Mas é um excelente tempo. Certo, o feiticeiro aí. Eita, adeus, virou uma bolinha de pelo. Os diálogos. Lord Zaros, agora vai. Esse é o Final Boss. E com essas bolinhas ele transforma a gente no que ele quer, né? Na verdade. Uou, aprisionou. Temos que sair. Agora vem os amiguitos. Amiguitos vêm para ajudar. Toma, garrafada. Esse bicho aí come a bagaça toda. E agora é isso aí. Estamos livres. Só que, né, os amiguitos não são tão fortes, né? Então eles não aguentam muito. Agora falou que agora você pode mudar de forma, né? De animais. Só que tem animais, tem formas que você não é que você é obrigado, mas elas são mais úteis, logicamente, né? Em determinadas partes aí do boss. Falou que essa parte é legal do leão. Foi um pouco, a Tina falou que é um pouco maçante, mas que é legal. Essa fase do boss aí da bolinha de espinho. Você tem que ir batendo nela. E ela vai ganhando velocidade até que ela estoura. Que a ideia é você conseguir bater e não tomar dano. Agora é o sapo. Parte do sapo. Dá uma linguada ali. Vamos de novo. É do lado esquerdo, beleza. E agora... Opa, é do lado aí de cima. E agora a parte da cobrinha. Ela já tá quase no fim do jogo, hein? Falou que a forma humana é muito poderosa do seu personagem. E time. 1 hora, 53 minutos e 22. Eu digo que com esse tempo ela é o segundo lugar na leaderboard. GGzaço pra ela aí. certo? Porque ela tem 1h50 e o segundo lugar tem 2h10. Né? Então tem uma diferença aí, né?
That's not better, is it?
That's not.
Oh.
It's not objectively better.
Yeah. But yeah, so real quick, I just want to thank especially Kishura, who's doing Japanese Restream commentary. She's learned a ton about this run for this. And then the French Restream, we have, I believe it's Fabier, who is...
Ela tá agradecendo aí as restreams em outras línguas.
So much to just everybody who's in the community who's been glitch hunting this game, making sure that people get to see it. It's super fun.
Agradeceu a stream japonesa, a stream francesa, né, que foram pessoas que procuraram ela para poder aprender a run do jogo. E é isso aí, gente. Vocês conferiram aí Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom.